The road was dead quiet, no cars, no wind, just the distant hum of streetlights and the crunch of gravel beneath my boots. It was late, later than I intended to be out, but I'd missed the earlier bus and didn't feel like calling for a ride. I figured I'd wait. Worst case, I'd walk. The bus stop sat at the edge of town. No buildings, just open road, fields, and that old bench under a rusting shelter. I used to pass it every day, never once imagining I'd actually need it. That night I did. There was someone already sitting there, an older man in a worn brown coat, face hidden beneath the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat. He was humming, something low, off-key, and tuneless, like a lullaby that had forgotten its own melody. I didn't say anything, just nodded and sat at the far end of the bench. Time crawled. I pulled out my phone, 11:42 p.m. I frowned. The schedule taped to the side of the shelter said, "Last departure, 11 p.m. Strange. I could have sworn the website said midnight. I glanced at the man. He kept humming. His body didn't move, just his lips. His breath visible in the cold night air, too visible, like he was exhaling steam in 40-degree weather. That's when I noticed his skin. It looked wrong. Not aged, something else. Paper thin, stretched too tightly across his hands, which rested neatly on his knees, translucent in places. I thought I could see veins, but not the way they should have looked, more like wires. I shifted, suddenly very aware of the silence between us. The hum stopped. He turned his head just slightly, just enough for me to see the lower half of his face, and then he spoke. "You missed it too." His voice was raspy, hollow, like it echoed from somewhere deeper than his throat. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. I looked back at my phone, 11:43, no signal. The screen glitched for a split second, just a flicker, then it went black. The man was still, but the bench beneath me suddenly creaked, like someone had shifted their weight. I looked beside me. The man was gone, not walked away, not out of sight. Gone. No footsteps, no movement, just absence. But the bench was still warm. I stood up, slowly, looked around. Empty fields stretched into the darkness, no trees, no place to hide, and yet I felt watched. Something tugged at my gut, a primal instinct that screamed, "Leave." But where? There were no cars, no lights beyond the shelter, just that endless stretch of two-lane highway. I checked my phone again, still black, still cold. I held the power button, nothing. Then I heard it, the humming, faint, distant, echoing from down the road, growing louder. I backed away from the bench. Each step felt harder than the last, like the air itself was thickening, resisting my escape. The bus stop lights flickered. One blinked out entirely. Another hum joined the first, then another. Voices, soft, low, layered beneath that broken melody. I turned and ran. Gravel kicked beneath my shoes. My breath came in ragged gasps. I didn't know where I was going, just away. I didn't stop until I saw headlights, a delivery truck. I ran into the road, waving my arms like a madman. The driver slammed the brakes and cursed me out the window, but I didn't care. He looked me over, saw the fear in my eyes. Without a word, he opened the door and let me in. He didn't ask questions, just drove. Miles passed before I spoke again. When I told him where I'd been waiting, his knuckles turned white on the steering wheel. "That stop?" he said. "They shut that route down 10 years ago. Too many incidents." I didn't ask what he meant. I didn't want to know. All I remember is the look in his eyes, like he'd heard the humming too. I never found that bench again. Went back once out of foolish curiosity. It wasn't there. No shelter, no signpost. Just open road and empty fields. But sometimes when I'm driving alone late at night, I hear it. A soft, tuneless hum drifting in through the window. And I wonder if that man ever left the bench, or if I was the one who did.